Hi, everyone, and welcome to a Traklife Artist Select interview. My name is Sarah, and I'm here interviewing our month's Artist Select, Aryy.
Hi, I'm Aryy.
Congratulations on being Artist Select. I'm excited to ask you some questions and get to know you.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited.
Yeah, so my first question is, what inspired you to start making music?
I think that when I was a kid, my dad was a musician, so he used to play guitar in a band. So I grew up like surrounded by music always, and I think that has always like been a part of me in a way. And then when I started playing music and singing and writing, I was around 14, 15, and I was very emo, and I really wanted to play some Simple Plan and Green Day songs. So that was a huge inspiration at the time.
Nice. So how did you learn to create music?
How did I learn to create music? That's a hard question. I never actually thought about it because it was just natural. Like I started playing the guitar. I took guitar lessons when I was like 14, 15, and right as I started playing the guitar and playing covers of songs, I naturally started writing songs as well. And as like a way to reflect about my feelings and what's going on in my life. So it was kind of like my own like journal or something of the sort. So like writing music was always very natural. I don't even know. I never was like, oh, let me learn how to write or let me learn how to it just like happened.
Yeah, I feel like so many of the best artists, it's kind of just like a natural talent that you have. And it's kind of like things come out of you without you even having to try or just
Yeah,
releasing your feelings. And that's cool.
yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, thank you.
So, what is your creative process like?
Um, I have a few different ways that I write, depending on my mood, depending on the day. But I, the main ways that I usually write is either I'm feeling something and I don't know like how to put it into words, so I grab a ukulele or a guitar or the piano and I start playing a progression of chords and singing my feelings out and until something comes out, and sometimes it's trash, sometimes it's good, but it always makes me realize what I'm feeling deep down. I use it almost as a journal, almost as like my own way to reflect into what I'm feeling. And sometimes I get melodies in my head and lyrics in my head, like in the shower. I write in the shower a lot. So I'm just in the shower and I start singing something. I'm like, oh, this could be a song. So I step out and I record a voice memo on my phone. And then after I come and I play the instrument and try to write it.
That's so great. It just like comes to you in the most random instances. And it just feels like it's such a therapeutic outlet for you. So, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like so many people could benefit from doing something like that. So, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, who are your biggest influences?
Um, I think that like right now in the genre of music that I'm making, some huge influences would be like MX Tune, Cave Town, and Chloe Moriondo. I love their work. I love the ukulele, cute, like soft vibes so much. And I think also that ever since I started making music back in the day, a couple of my biggest influences were Lights and Juliet Sims because they were such powerful women in music that I just like wanted to be them so bad.
That's great. Yeah. And I feel like there's so many women now breaking into just different genres of music and like exploring genres that women usually didn't used to dominate. So that's really cool that you were able to look up to them and like you can see how all of these new like female artists are rising and like becoming really popular in genres that, used to not really accept them. So that's great.
Yeah.
So, how do you go about writing a song? I know I kind of asked you a version of this question, but I guess just in a more specific way.
Let's say if I were to write a song like right now, if I was like, I'm going to write a song and I know that I'm going to write a song, then I would probably just grab my ukulele and figure out, play a progression of chords that I'm feeling. If I'm like sad, it'll be like minor. If I'm happy, it's like something more major and happy sounding. And I play a progression that feels good to me at the moment. And then I think about what I'm going to write about, and then I just like let my feelings flow on that and kind of freestyle on top of the chords that I'm playing until something that I like comes out. And when I have like a main idea of what the song is about, and I already like a phrase or two, I start recording voice memos on my phone, and I open a notepad on my computer and I start just like writing it down so I can structure the song and know which part is what, and so I don't forget, because I definitely forget. So I keep just like doing voice memos and singing over and over until I like it.
Yeah, that's great. So, how would you describe your music?
Soft, gay, aesthetic.
Nice, I like it. I know you definitely take a lot of ukulele
Yeah.
influence. So, like, where does that come from?
Never shout never. Like I grew up and I'm older than I look. And like when I started playing the ukulele, it was like 11 years ago at this point, I think. And I started playing because of Never Shout Never. And I'm from Brazil, right? And in Brazil, we didn't even find ukuleles back in the day. But my dad lived in the US and he brought a ukulele for me because I was a huge Never Shout Never fan. And I started playing it back then and just to play his songs. And I just like grew more and more in love with this instrument over the years. And now I love ukulele so much because it makes everything sound cheerful, even when it isn't.
It really does.
And I really like playing with that in my music. Like my lyrics aren't necessarily happy all the time, but I like to balance it out, like sad lyrics with happy melodies. And I think the ukulele makes it sound really cheerful even when it's not. And I really like that contrast of like a sad song that sounds happy.
Mhm. Yeah, I love when artists will cover a song and they'll add the ukulele to it, and it just like adds a certain something to a song. It's
Yeah.
I love it. And my mom always wanted to like get me to learn how to play, and I just never got around to it. So you're like inspiring me.
You can always start. Ukulele is pretty easy. So,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
really
heard.
fun to start.
It's not the hardest instrument to learn.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Like it's so interesting because I feel like not a lot of artists really incorporate that into their music. So that's really cool.
Thanks. I love that. Ukulele is very specific, and I feel like it's very specific niche of people who love the ukulele. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And that really kind of just leads into my next question. What about your music do you consider unconventional?
um, I think that one thing that I only realized it as we were trying to produce my songs last year when I started recording them is ukulele and beats at the same time. Like it's very hard to find pop music that incorporates, for reference, like when we're producing, that will have like beats, a drum kit, but also a ukulele, and how is that all mixed together. So I think that is definitely different. Making indie pop or bedroom pop music with the ukulele, I think there aren't many artists out there doing that. So I think that is unconventional.
Yes, I would definitely agree. And so I also know that you've kind of gained a very large following on TikTok. So how has TikTok impacted your music career?
TikTok is literally the best. If it wasn't for TikTok, I don't know how my career would be right now, because I only downloaded TikTok right before quarantine last year, and they are the most supportive group of people I have found. Like, even though I post on the other social media as well, like YouTube and Instagram, and there's a lot of supportive people over there, I think people from TikTok really cross over platforms and go to Spotify and stream my music and make my music career like viable and like make it actually happen. So TikTok, I don't know. I love TikTok. I love posting TikToks. I love scrolling through TikTok. And I love how it gives everybody a chance. It gives indie artists a chance to be found, a chance to find a very specific niche because TikTok does that with that algorithm. And it's just like it's helping me build a community of very loving people. And I really love that.
That's awesome. And it's just so cool because it's like those people are kind of strangers, but you feel like you know them because they're so supportive and you've fostered this community with all of them. So that's really cool. And it's good to see how TikTok is like positively affecting someone
Yeah.
and how it can further someone's career like that.
For sure. And I love that, like how you said, like I can actually like, create a relationship with my fans there because I go live on TikTok almost every day when I'm having coffee just to chat with them. And I feel like we bond and I feel like I know some of them and they know me better and it's just so nice.
I love that. That's great. So, how have you evolved since the beginning of your music career?
Jesus, so much. I don't it's just it's been a long time. Like I started learning the guitar and I started posting videos on YouTube like 13 years ago. So literally my entire life. Like I was 14 and now I'm almost 30. So literally like everything has changed. I think I've been through many phases um, in my music and everything. I don't even know where to begin to say how it evolved because it was just like everything about it has changed.
Hmm. And that, I mean, I feel like so many of us have also changed throughout the pandemic. So, did that affect you at all other than, deciding to get on TikTok? Did that kind of affect your style or anything like that?
Um, well, I started recording my first EP, my songs that are out now during quarantine. So it started in quarantine, like this new project right now, the like Aryy and all these songs that I'm doing, it started in quarantine. So that has definitely been a huge influence, I guess. I think it really helped me in a way to find a community, I guess, that is like in the same vibrations, in the same, I don't know, in the same genre and niche that I'm in. It makes me feel more confident having these people to share my journey with, like on TikTok and stuff. I feel like TikTok really connected everything and helped me to find myself a lot more. Um, yeah, like I don't even know. Quarantine definitely impacted everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because it was such a dark time for everyone, but so much amazing music came out of it because there was just nothing else to do but get
For sure.
inspired and write music.
For sure, it really was because like right before quarantine, I was working in restaurants, still serving tables, and then when quarantine hit, I was like, okay, let's record my. It was going to be 2 weeks, right? So I went to the studio and recorded my EP, and then it wasn't 2 weeks, and then like we never went back, and I struggled for a long time, feeling kind of lost, and then I decided I was like, wait, what am I doing with my life? I can't go back to work. Let's just focus 100% in this and like write songs and make this happen. So it really was positive in that way.
That's so like fulfilling just to know that something great came out of a time like quarantine where not a lot of great things were happening.
Yeah, it was a really tough time emotionally and for my family and everything, but it was like I am happy that something good came out of it. And then now like I am doing what I love every day. I wake up and I'm living my dream of working on the things I love. So yeah, it's good to see that's even like in the darkest time, there is still something to be positive about.
Yeah, that's amazing and such a good outlook on life in general as well. So, what are some challenges that you have faced in the music industry?
Um, I have faced many challenges. I think that a huge one ever since I started writing music, I wrote music in English, but I lived in Brazil. So I would hear from everybody that I had to make music in Portuguese because I was Brazilian, because I lived in Brazil, because of this, because of that, and that I should make this kind of music or that kind of music. And I wasn't very confident in myself. I never thought I I mean, I know I'm not like the best singer, the best and in whatever, and I think that made me very just like not believe in myself when I was younger, and I ended up like going to college, doing that whole thing because I didn't think I could just be a musician, like a full-time musician, and that was hard. Um, and then when I was in college, I ended up going to sing on The Voice, the TV show.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, in Brazil, but I only made it to like the blind auditions and nobody turned their chair. But that moment, like, it changed something in me and it made me believe in myself a lot more because the entire country was trying to get the chance to go sing in the auditions, and then like I made it and I was like, oh, so maybe like I can be a singer and maybe I can do this even though I don't have the best technique or whatever, because I think that being the best at technique and singer has nothing to do with being a great artist. And I think that really helped me to see that like I I think I'm good. I'm not the best, but I think I'm good, and that's all right. And I
Yeah.
started believing in myself a lot more. And then another very hard obstacle that I'm facing like right now, because I've been through all that and like that is in the past now. But I think that now is I'm an immigrant in the US. I don't know many people yet. I've been living here for only 3 years. And I think it's so hard for me still to know people, to reach people in the US for some reason.
Mhm.
Like I'm super thankful to be here, like chatting with you and being the artist of the month, because that means
Yeah.
so much to me. Because like I'm not from this country, I don't know people in the industry. Everything that's happening, it's organic. It's because of the amazing fans I have online. So I think that's a hard thing. It's like being an immigrant in the U.S. singing in English, not knowing anyone, not having the connections. Um, Not having like a team yet. So I do everything by myself. But it's one step at a time.
Yeah. Well, that's very admirable that you're just like doing it yourself and, putting yourself in a different environment and new surroundings. So that's really great. And I feel like you've really kind of made the most of that as well. So,
Thank you so much.
yeah. So, what are your ambitions as a songwriter and musician from here?
Well, what I want to do with this is to be able to just live my life doing this. So I think that for me to be able to live my life making music and writing songs and singing songs, I want to get like to a point that I'm big enough to just make a living that's good enough. I don't have any like ambitious plans to be like the next Taylor Swift or anything like but I do have some crazy dreams that in one of I have like I was gonna say three, but I have a bunch of just like punctual goals that I really want. I want to have my face on Times Square because I used to serve tables in Times Square when I moved to the US, and I think that would just be like the best, the best like full circle
Yes,
ever.
full circle
Working and
moment.
serving tables in Times Square to having my face in Times Square, and I want to go on tour. I want to go on a world tour. Is one of my biggest dreams as an artist. Is like my main goal. And for that, I got to reach people in the entire world. So a lot of work to do, and I'm happy to be doing it. And I will. This one's very nerdy. I want to get my music on The Sims. Like in the language of the game. I've been making Simlish versions of my songs
Oh
and
my.
get Sims, yeah, I've been trying to get Sims attention online because I'm a huge Sims fan and I've been playing since Sims 1. It's like I really want to get my music on the game. That's it. And I want to be on a
I love
genius.
that though. That's so like that's another unique thing. I feel like you have so many little like unique niche things about you. So that's awesome. I love that.
Things. It's very specific, like dreams.
they are, but I feel like it's better to have specific dreams. You can really channel into those. So,
True.
and they're super realistic too. Like they
Yeah.
really are.
I have faith.
Mhm. So, what are your plans for any future releases?
So I am actually going to be releasing my next single on July 23rd. I'm super excited about it. It's my new era, like pink hair and
Yeah.
experimenting with some different elements. And the song's gonna be called Softy with Anger Issues, and it's already available to pre-save, and it's gonna be out on July 23rd.
Hey, that's so exciting.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah. So, what does your music say about you?
Um, I think that this new song, Softy with Anger Issues, basically just like puts it all together. That is like, I'm a softie with anger issues. And I think that's something that my music says about me because like my lyrics, I have songs that sound very cute and happy, like Get a Clue, but it's a song that I'm just like pissed off.
Mhm.
And so it's like I am mad, but I'm soft at the same time. And it's just like I'm a cancer, and that's basically it. Like I think my song um, shows my cheerful personality at the same time as like don't mess with me.
Yeah, it feels like you put so much of your personality and your own raw emotions into your music, which is great. I feel like so many artists kind of try and cater to like what they think other people would want rather than what they would want, and it just doesn't produce as great of a sound or as great a song. So it's really admirable that you're just like doing you and being unique. So that's awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it because it really is like my deepest feelings. I only write stuff that means something to me, and so hearing that from you means a lot.
Yeah. So, what is some advice you would give to anyone looking to make it in the music industry?
Start a TikTok account. No, for real though. I think that this advice, I give it to all my friends who are also musicians or fans who come and ask me for advice. That is just do it. Just do it. It's cliche, but it's just like sometimes we get so caught up in trying to do it perfect or not doing it, only trying to do it if it's going to be the best, the most famous, the whatever. Otherwise, you don't want to do it. And I say, just do it. Just put it out there. Like you wanna be a musician? Well, write music. And after you write music, you have to share with people online. Otherwise, when you release it, nobody's gonna listen to it because nobody's gonna know you exist. So it's just like, you know, it's 2021. You can't say that TikTok's cringe anymore. Like it's not cringy to find people who think alike and people to share your work with and people to build a community with. So it's just like put yourself out there because if you don't, you can be the most talented person in the world and you're not going to make it because if you don't release your songs, nobody's going to listen to it. If you want to be an artist, you got to put yourself out there.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, even one minor decision you make as an artist can impact the rest of your career, like, can explode you into the industry and just like make you that much bigger. So, it's important to kind of just take every opportunity and
For sure. For sure. And like I have a few friends who are musicians who are way more talented than I am. Like way up there. But they don't post stuff. And I'm like, dude, like the world needs to find you. Like please post this. But if they don't post, they're not gonna get anywhere,
Mhm.
even though they are super talented.
Yeah, there's so many. I feel like there's so many artists like that who they're just kind of like hidden and no one knows who they are because they just can't yet put themselves out there. But you kind of have to just like gain that confidence and tell yourself that you are like worthy and you can do it. So,
Because it's scary, like the internet is a scary place. So I understand that, but you gotta do it.
yeah.
Otherwise, like you're the only person representing your dream on earth. If you don't do it, nobody's gonna do it for you.
Mhm. So, my final question is what is one message that you want to give to your listeners?
One message that I want to give to my listeners. I I don't know. Go pre-save softy with anger issues.
That's a good message.
I don't know. I tell them stuff all the time. I'm like, what would I tell them now? I love you. Thank you so much for supporting me. It really means everything to me. Yeah, thank you. And go pre-save softy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I had such a great time chatting with you and just learning about you and getting to know your music and your sound. So it was so great to hear from you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk to you. I
Yeah,
appreciate you so much.
and is there anything else you want to say before we close out this interview?
Um, no, I think that's it. Just thank you. Thank you for everyone on Track Life. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me. It really means a lot to me. As
Yeah,
an artist, as an immigrant, as like it makes me feel like I'm making it, you know?
yeah, and we're so excited to feature you and
Mm.
just to kind of share your art with our followers. So I'm so excited. I'm gonna jot down all of my like ideas for the article after this. So it's gonna be great.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited. You have
Yeah.
a good day.
Yeah, you too. Well, thank you so much everyone for tuning in to this interview and look for this posted on Traklife's YouTube and my artist select article about Aryy coming out soon. Thank you.